dude. It's so cool. And I hear something in the background. I don't know if it's your background or mine,
My
but you also I
dogs.
think you got a couple dogs.
Oh man,
And
I got a few.
one of my dogs like wanted to try to steal the show from us earlier. He was sitting right by me and then like
I
the
heard
door
them.
opened or something. Yeah,
Oh,
he
I'll have
he
my one of my dogs. I'm sure is going to come and put her head in here in a minute because
yeah,
she,
so
whenever I'm on the computer, she always comes over and checks it out.
yeah. I'm going to ask you the first question. So
Okay.
we've done it. We're going to finally get to the actual first
Oh, the
question.
first question. Okay.
I mean, so good thing we haven't asked any hard questions yet.
Sounds good, man.
Um, can you describe um, how the events of September 11th changed the trajectory of where you're at in your life? So it's a day that we can all have an anchor point, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
it was such a life changing moment for everyone that I know that was in the military or even not in the military that's in our age demographic or above.
Mm-hmm.
Like my kids don't quite understand it. Yours might not because of
Sure.
the
No,
the
not at all.
ages. But I like to talk about that because it changed the world.
We all have a common bond of some way because of it.
And
Yeah.
we could take that pinpoint
Mm-hmm.
and we could create different slices around where we all were and how it pivoted us
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and created this brother and sisterhood
Yep.
of camaraderie. Um, how did that change you?
So at that point in time, I was a young instructor out at Silver Flag.
Okay.
Um, so I'm teaching desert warfare, and I'm out in the sun every day in the dirt and rucking around and shooting everything up, and feeling pretty beastly at the time. Felt like I was doing what I was supposed to be doing. Um, my phone rang that morning, and I picked it up. It was early. I was off. I was off that day, and it was my dad. He said, "Hey, bud." I'm like, "Hey, what's up, Dad?" "Hey, turn on the TV." So what channel? He goes, "Any channel." I said, "Okay." So I turned the TV on, and I don't remember how long I was on the phone with my dad, but we watched the second impact, second aircraft hit, and I couldn't believe it. I'm like, what is going on? He goes, "Paul, you're gonna get a call. I guarantee you're gonna get a call pretty soon. Be ready. This is terrorism." And I'm like, "Oh shit." And I hung up the phone with my dad. I probably a few minutes went by and the phone rings again. "Hey, O'Keefe, you got your shit?" "Yep." "Head on down." "Roger that." So got all my gear. We had our own gear all loaded up and stuff. Went down into work, and they started planning for who was going to be doing what, who's going to get deployed, who is going to fill in for instructors that are going to get deployed, and that took just a couple days, and then I was on a plane overseas. So that impacted me. Uh, I mean, it made me realize what I was fighting for, or what I thought I was going to be fighting for as a military person. I didn't join. A lot of people joined after 9/11 because they're like, you know what? I am going to go and get these guys back. I'm going to fight for my country. I was already in.
Yep.
And so at that point, Air Force cops, when we get deployed, we go to Kuwait or, Bagram, Afghanistan, and you do security detail. You're on towers, you're on entry control points, and you're doing patrols sometimes. But the scope of our actions wasn't quite the same. Uh, I think we got a little bit more ramped up after that. Like we started doing more real patrolling and real missions after 9/11, and I got to be a part of that with some really good teams. I worked with the Army, I worked with CID, and we did some great missions. And the events of 9/11 took this kid that was itching to get his hands dirty and prove his worth, and it threw me into the fire. and I got to do those things firsthand. And it made me grow as a leader. It made me grow as a human. It gave me more compassion to like, it gave me more like empathy to others' struggles and oppressions, because you see all these, like when you're over there, you see how the locals live. They're dirt poor.
Mm,
They don't even know what's going on usually. And not all of them, but there's a lot of them that like they're just living life like anyone else. So I got to witness all these things and work with some of the best people in the world, and it turned me into something different. And that's how 9/11 affected me. It made me grow up more than I ever thought I could, and it gave me some resiliency, and it honed my leadership.
yeah. Where did you go?
So I've been to Iraq twice, and I've been also to Qatar. I don't know if you know where that is. Qatar,
I've been there.
Bahrain, Iraq. So we went to Iraq.
Yeah, I went to, so my duty. I went to, so I joined in '99 Air
Hmm.
Force, and then '01 I was in Kuwait,
Hmm.
loading jets, and
Yep.
then right after it happened, I went to Saudi Arabia, and then I went to Qatar, and
Yep.
then I went to Iraq.
Okay.
So those
Where
are
where
those
were
are
you at
the
in Iraq?
I went to Balad Air Force Base.
Okay. Yeah. So we had flights that were in Balad. We had flights that were in Kirkuk, and I was in Talil and Kirkuk.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, well, one of the things that I like to do on this is just pause for a second
Sure.
and just acknowledge your contributions to what you have done on behalf of my family and everyone else that's going to listen and watch this podcast. We want to say thank you. Thank you for your contributions to this great nation. Thank you for your sacrifices for what you've done. Thank you for continuing to give back to veterans. And I know, this isn't just the hey, thank you for your service. This is a heartfelt. I just want to say thank you and spend a moment and celebrate you and acknowledge you, um, for
Thanks, man.
everything you've done, and um, because that's what this is about, is to lift people up
For
and
sure.
just to say, man, we appreciate you, we got you, and we're proud of you, and like people that are going to watch us, they're going to feel that,
Yeah.
and so that's
Bro,
what we want to say. That's
thank you for doing this and allowing me to be here. I love you, man. Like you are an awesome guy. I felt your energy right when we met, and I'm so glad that we've connected and you invited me to come and talk with you. Thank you for your heartfelt feelings as well. You know what? I did the same thing as you, man. Like we all did the same thing, and you know what I mean when I say that. Like when people thank me for my service, I always tell them thank you, because it's coming from a good place, and they want they sometimes they don't know how to express it. I always tell them thank you, and that my journey in the military was the best thing for me at that time. A lot of guys like are real salty when they get out and have a bunch of issues, and I had some of those too. But my military service to me was one of the things that shaped my life the most, and I loved it.
Yep, yep.
I loved it.
I joined when I was 17, brother, and it formed who I am. It's the
Yes,
fabric of my
sir.
DNA.
Yes, sir.
Um, and I just want you to know that we're proud of you
Thank you.
and we're thankful for you and the
Thank you.
sacrifices you made. So I don't want that to get lost on this. And
Yes,
it's one
sir.
of my core
Yes, sir.
tenets of what I do on this. So, brother,
I
we got you.
appreciate you. And
Yeah,
Zach,
man.
thank
Likewise.
thank you, buddy. Thank you too.
Yeah.
And I could say all the same things and whisper in your ear and come over there and rub your shoulders and stuff.
I
When
don't
I
want
when I
that.
when I yeah, you do. I got good hands, man. They're strong. I I just want you to know it's reciprocated.